Alright, so today we have a rumor that sounds like bad news for Xbox and Nintendo owners who are big Final Fantasy fans. Maybe you've been holding out hope that the Final Fantasy VII Remake Trilogy will head to those consoles, and based on this rumor, that's not looking likely. So, if any of that sounds interesting to you, or if you're new here and you like what you hear, feel free to click the like button and subscribe if you want to stay up to date with not only Final Fantasy news, but gaming stuff in general. So again, this is a leak and a rumor, so you have to take it with a massive grain of salt. However, it's coming from Nate Drake, who from what I can see is a pretty reliable leaker, and they have a pretty good track record. And they've come out and officially said that Square Enix currently has no plans to port the Final Fantasy VII Remake Trilogy over to the Xbox Series consoles or the next generation Switch, which has been rumored for quite some time now. Nate goes on to say that while it's not currently their top priority, it is something that could happen later down the line. So I think people kind of throw stuff like that in just to kind of cover their butts just in case, but currently it's not looking like 7 Remake or Rebirth will head to the Xbox or Nintendo, unfortunately. And when you really break it down to look at it, I guess that kind of does make sense. The entire Final Fantasy VII Remake Trilogy is a massive, massive undertaking that's incredibly expensive, and it's taken a large team of people to get this thing off the ground and actually created, and maybe taking the time and resources to port it over to an Xbox or the next gen Switch might not be worth it to Square Enix, because you also have to take into account future projects. You know, there's probably early development for Final Fantasy 17 for all we know. They're always updating Final Fantasy 14, there's Kingdom Hearts 4, and that's not even including original new IPs that Square might want to tackle later down the line. So that trilogy not coming to those consoles, it's a bummer, but it does make sense. Now, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth will most definitely still get a PC version, and it's looking like that PC port will hit much earlier than 7 Remake's port, since Rebirth only has a 3-month window of exclusivity on the PlayStation 5, so a PC version of that most definitely will happen. And for further clarification, there was a report that hit last month before Tokyo Game Show saying that Square Enix got their hands on a next-gen Switch 2 development kit, and with that kit, they were able to get Final Fantasy VII Remake up and running and playing pretty well, pretty close to the PS5 performance level. So a lot of people, including myself, thought, oh, maybe that means they could have 7 Remake eventually make its way to the Nintendo Switch 2, maybe be a launch title, who knows. But based on this info, that also doesn't look like it's happening. But you're probably wondering, why on earth would Square Enix take 7 Remake and get it up and running on a Switch if they have no plans to actually release it on that console? Well, oftentimes when developers get dev kits for upcoming new hardware, the thing they want to do the most is test out that hardware to see how powerful it is and what its limitations are. So for Square to take a game like Final Fantasy VII Remake, maybe the PlayStation 5 version, get it up and running on that next gen Switch and look at how it performs. And then Square can go, oh, this is what we can get out of this console, and these are our limitations. So they're basically using 7 Remake as a litmus test for how that next gen Switch could handle future games that are not 7 Remake or 7 Rebirth. So that's pretty much what's going on there. Again, we got to take all of this with a grain of salt. I don't know any of these leakers, I don't know how they get their information, but based on the track record of someone like Nate Drake, they seem pretty reliable. So when you really stop to think about everything, it does make sense that this trilogy, unfortunately, would not head to the Xbox Series consoles like X and S, or even the next-gen Switch. But I would think that maybe sometime way down the line, Square Enix would have to release a multi-platform version once everything is said and done on the PlayStation 5 side of things with the entire 7 Remake trilogy. So it is a bummer, but hey, again, take it with a big grain of salt. Now, with that being said, that is the video. I am Curious Corduroy. Let me know in the comments down below, what do you guys think of these leaked rumors so far? Are you someone who has an Xbox or a Nintendo and was looking forward to the possibility of the 7 Remake trilogy heading to your console? I will see you guys in the next video. Please remember to always be excellent to one another.